friends, and welcome to our show. Here we are where spirit meets story, truth and mystery with your host, Dr. Douglas James Cottrell. We are journeying together through the deeper meanings behind today's world events, ancient wisdom, and the quiet whispers of the divine. We're going to reflect, remember, and reconnect. If this is your first time with us, welcome to the family. Make sure to follow us and ring that bell, check those checks, and click on that link to subscribe wherever you're watching and listening from wherever you are in the world. This show isn't just a broadcast. It's a broadcast with intention, with spirit, and with love. Now, here is Douglas.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to be with you again this evening. I want to say hello to all those people who were waiting in the queue to get online to hear the show tonight. This is our Valentine's Day show, but it's beyond that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about soulmates. We're going to talk about soul friends. We're going to talk about the fiery horse year. It's the year of the horse in Eastern astrology. So stay tuned, sit back, relax, and here we go for a big show tonight. I'm here with Oz, who's in the background, and if you want to send us a question, remember the email is thesoulreportlive@gmail.com, and you're welcome to ask a question through the chat, and Jackal, who's co-producing the show, will be here to ask the question on your behalf. So listen, love is a path to illumination. Did you know that? From St. Valentine to the fire horse, the show tonight will take you on a roller coaster of a path. So good evening, my friends and my soul family. Welcome to the Soul Report. I'm, of course, your host, Dr. Douglas James Cottrell, and Jack is co-producing in the background. And we're here to talk to you not just about love, but emotion and love as a path of spiritual illumination. You know, it's easy to get lost in the glitter and lies of far older and far greater memories, you know, to get lost with chocolates and flowers. There's far more to the story than that. One of devotion, one of faith, and of the power of love to transform lives, heal division, and even defy death. So this all started with the real Saint Valentine. He was a prophet of love and a martyr for his compassion. Saint Valentine was a real man, not just a symbol on candy or greeting cards. In fact, there was at least 2 or 3 men named Valentine who in the old times were martyred during the early centuries of Christianity. And their stories were later woven into the legendary story of Saint Valentine's Day. But the one most often referred to was a priest, or possibly a bishop, who lived in Rome during the reign of Emperor Claudius II. That was around 270 AD. His crime was a crime of compassion. At that time, Rome was under great political and military pressure. It was a time of brutal persecution. Claudius II had banned young men from marrying, believing that a single man made better soldiers. Fewer attachments, fewer hesitations made him better in battle. Valentine, a Christian priest of the early church, defied the emperor's orders. Why? Well, for love, of course. He secretly married young Christian couples. In defiance of the law, seeing love as a spiritual union as most sacred, not something to be dictated by the state. Eventually, of course, Valentine was caught and imprisoned. And while he was in prison, Valentine continued his ministry. It is said that he prayed with and healed fellow prisoners. One in particular story goes to part of the legend involves Valentine befriending the jailer's blind daughter. Moved by her faith and spirit, it is said he had prayed with her and restored her sight through this prayer and through virtual healing. In fact, it was a miracle. Valentine was ultimately executed on February the 14th, beheaded for standing up for love, marriage, and Christian faith in a time of great oppression. On the day of his execution, he left a note signed, "From your Valentine," a phrase that echoes in the tradition of giving a Valentine card to a loved one. We often forget that St. Valentine wasn't just a name on a card, that he was a real living man. He was a priest in ancient Rome who risked his life to marry young lovers in secret, defying an empire that tried to outlaw love. He healed the blind, he comforted his prisoners, and he died not just for his faith, but for the sacred right to love. He signed his final note from jail with the words, "From your Valentine." He became a symbol of love that endures beyond death. Valentine's love wasn't sugary, it was sacrificial. And that's why we remember him even to this day. True love isn't only found in romance, it's found in compassion, in forgiveness, in sacrifice. Spiritual love is the current that runs through all great faiths and philosophy. It is the essence of Christian teachings, of the Buddha's compassion, or of the Sufis' divine loving and longing. To walk the path of love, of course, is not easy. It demands vulnerability, patience, humility, and the courage to see the divine in others, even those who oppose us. Love transforms karma. Did you know that? When we forgive, we stop the karmic wheel. When we bless instead of curse, we heal our own wounds. When we give without expectation, we align with grace. Love purifies your soul. Yeshua once said, "Love one another as I have loved you." Not just as a commandment, it's an invitation into higher consciousness. Love isn't only an emotion in metaphysics, love is a frequency. It's a state of being. It's a measurable field in the energy around you each and every day. When you practice kindness, forgiveness, gratitude, generosity, you are turning into a resonance of love. Think about that. And in that resonance, you have benefits. You heal faster. You attract aligned people, the same as yourself. Like attract like. You strengthen the energy in your life field, and it shows up in your aura. You become a beacon to others seeking truth. Like attracts like, as I said. Not by desire, but by vibration. So instead of asking, "Where is my soulmate?" ask this: am I living in love? Am I vibrating at the level of the relationship I deserve? I'm often asked this question, and the answer is both mystical and practical. How do we find our soulmate or soul friend? You know, a soulmate is not necessarily someone who completes you, but someone who reflects you, a mirror to your spiritual growth. Soulmates challenge us, uplift us, and walk with us on our path of self-realization. A soul friend in the Gaelic tradition is one who sees your soul and stands beside you unconditionally. How do you recognize them? Well, you feel at ease with them. And you have that feeling like, hey, I've known you forever. Time dissolves in their presence. They encourage you to the highest truth, not exactly your highest comfort zone. and often your life seems mysteriously entangled. But here's the secret. To find your soulmate, become your own soulmate first. Love yourself deeply. Heal your past. Radiate authenticity, and you will attract love that matches your vibration. Think about it. If you're at a certain frequency, if you take a tuning fork and you tap it on the desk, and you can hear that vibration. If you touch it with something else, it will change. The frequency will alter and it will stop vibrating. If you strike it on the desk and hold it up to a similar tuning fork, your vibration in this first one will transfer magically through the atmosphere, actually, and it will start the vibration in the second tuning fork. If you haven't ever done experiments with tuning forks, it's a whole other science out there, and people are practicing with tuning forks to give certain frequencies and vibrations that will resonate with your frequency in your body. Holding it over holding a certain frequency or tuning fork over a part of your body will cause that part of your body to feel better. Or if it's the wrong frequency, not to feel better. But you'll know instantly when you come close to that frequency. And likewise it is with a soulmate. You see somebody and you just know them. You know everything about them and you just like them. You want to be close to them, you want to talk to them, and the conversation is mutually endearing. Even laughter and joking and an authenticity is there in this newfound connection. Even though you've never met the person in real life before, you may have met them in a higher dimensions above or in a previous experience. So, soulmates and karma, do we always reunite with our soulmates? Do we continue going through life and lifetime after lifetime, experience after experience as a binary, as a couple? Not necessarily. Some soulmates come for a reason, not a lifetime. That means that they can come into your life, join up with you for a brief time in your life, a few years, a decade or two, and then they move on. Other soulmates arrive after great inner work has been done. In other words, they're somewhat waiting for you to improve, to get that vibration higher, so they can return to see you, to be with you. Sometimes that happens after multiple lifetimes. They're a little higher advanced than you, and of course, you can only advance together, one growing forward and then one catching up, and you can continue. But when one doesn't catch up, one remains at the lower vibration, then the higher one cannot come back. They have to either wait until the lower vibration soulmate catches up, learns their lessons, figures it out, finds love, and then rises up to a greater consciousness, or the soulmate moves on for other lifetimes and other experiences. Sooner or later, they will hook up, though, because they always come together. They always, let's say, take care of each other. Have you ever met friends in your life, where for a moment in your life there's been an intense situation, and then you move on, and every now and then they come to mind and you call them up just at the exact time that they're having some difficulty, and you're there to give them some advice or some support or some sustenance somehow, and then you move on again, time goes by, they call you up or you call them up, and again, there's a situation going on. That's how soulmates take care of each other from a spiritual level, dropping in to make sure that their soulmate, that one that's perfectly balanced in the soul connection, can be taken care of. But it's not necessary for them to live a life, as husband and wife, or as parent and child, or good buddies, good friends, sisters or brothers. It's not necessary to go through that whole lifetime again. Instead, it's just necessary to stop in and saying, how are you doing? Can I help you? And then moving on. Sometimes you meet your soulmate and it doesn't look like a fairy tale. It might be messy, emotional, or even unrequited. But still, the connection is real and the growth is sacred. Something to think about. Soulmates don't just make you feel good, they make you grow. So here's a thought. If you want to find your soulmate, don't search the world, search your soul. Because your soulmate is magnetized, not by your eyes, but by your essence. A soulmate is often described as someone with whom we share a profound soul connection, a person whose spirit resonates so deeply with ours that the encounter feels destined, timeless, and transformative. But let's go deeper than romantic ideals. A soulmate is not just a lover. A soulmate can be a teacher, a friend, a child, a spiritual guide, or even a challenging person whose presence wakes us up. I don't suggest we meet up with too many of them, but you know what? When it's destiny or fate, they show up because they're trying to teach you something. Tough love, you might say. Have you ever had a friend that at first, when you saw each other, you were enemies, you didn't like each other at all, you couldn't stand one another, and then ultimately, somehow, amazingly, a metamorphosis takes place, and all of a sudden you're best friends? Marriages sometimes start out that way. People are at odds with each other, and they're somewhat forced into marriage, or they somehow get into a marriage, and then later on they love each other that they can't stand to be separated from each other for a minute. The spiritual realm is mysterious, and understanding love and developing the ability to know unconditional love is certainly a mystery. It's not easy. It's how we learn to love ourselves first, and how we learn to love others, that we advance ourselves spiritually. So, because we are intuitive, remember, somewhere deep in our being, we carry the vibrational memory of oneness. We know true unity, because in the higher dimensions of spirit, or from previous experiences in the world, many feel the absence of that unity in this modern world. And so we long for it again. Not just romantically, which is temporal, but more permanently, spiritually. In a fragmented world, the soulmate archetype often offers hope and love that can transcend time, transcend karma, and transcend even death. But here's the spiritual truth. Your soulmate may not come into every lifetime. They may stay behind the veil, supporting you from the spiritual dimensions above. Or they may come to you only for a brief time, a moment, a glance, a conversation that alters your path. In that presence, they're your spiritual guides, your guardian angel perhaps. They're watching over from you from the great existence in the higher dimensions above. You've entered into the world with some trepidation. You're going through some challenges in the world, but they're watching over you from above, going through the same existence with you, watching you, not telling you what to do, of course, maybe giving you a little cosmic nudge. Maybe a dream will come and they will appear and give you a message. They'll give you a warning. They watch over you from above. And in some lifetimes, you are the one who needs to evolve first before that soulmate can return. So the encounter depends on your frequency, not fate. I'm going to offer you this for a moment of stillness. I mean, it's a real concern when you're looking for that special person in your life, that husband, that wife, that partner. It is a searching of the innermost sense of your being. So here's something you can try. When you're earnestly looking for a soulmate, I'm going to suggest this first. Be willing to have someone in your life to start. In other words, don't frivolously say, I would like to have a husband or a wife or a partner, and then say, but I don't have enough time on my job to do this. I have to travel. How would I have time for a serious relationship? Or is there really someone that would be similar to me? I don't want someone to be dependent on me. And the list starts to grow and grow and grow, and you begin to talk yourself out of it. So at first you say, yes, I do want somebody in my life. I'm definite about that. And you repeat that every day so that you don't talk yourself out of it. You reassure yourself. This is the first basic step. And I know everybody's shaking their head and saying, really? Yes, really, because people can come up with excuses. Oh, it's not the right time. I don't have enough money. Oh, I just have some more things to do to get that promotion at work, or whatever. A life partner is a life partner. And if you really want one, you want that soulmate to return, then you have to be committed and accepting, and whatever comes your way, you don't dismiss the person because they don't look right, they don't look like they have enough money, they don't appear to be happy with you, or you find some fault in them. You got to clear the deck. You got to say, whomever comes at me, I'm going to give them 3 months to see if we have a possible relationship without telling the other person, okay? So once you clear the decks and you have that firmly in your mind that yes, you want somebody, you've decided, you've made a decision, and now you're committed to it, then and only then will you allow yourself to seize the opportunity when someone shows up. A good, let's say, potential to be your soulmate, to be your lover, to be your friend, to be your mate. Remember, a kiss is not a contract. You can always say no, but the one thing you have to do is to give it time. Here we are at this time of Valentine's Day, and remember, it's not just romance, it's a spiritual commitment that you're making to yourself. So here's something of a reflection you can do. Take a moment, close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply. Clear your mind of all the day's work, concerns, thoughts. Come to rest. Get that monkey mind settled down. Begin to imagine a light, a familiar, kind, radiant light standing near you. This would be your soulmate in light or vibration form, whether they've incarnated now or whether they're waiting for you beyond the veil. They will, you will summon them by quieting the mind, breathing slowly, and accepting and desiring to have that wonderful soulmate come to you. When you perceive this light or this warmth that's beside you, now you ask yourself, what would they want me to do today to prepare for the love? They will tell you. A thought will come to you. A notion, a feeling will come to you. Or you'll just know what to do. Then after that, you have to take action. You have to go make the commitment and do it. Let's say it's a matter of calling somebody up and asking them to go out for a coffee or a lunch or a dinner or to some place for entertainment. Having that notion that you should call them, you want to call them, you're attracted to them, you still have to make the call. Don't talk yourself out of it. This might be somebody that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. If it's not, then the benefit is, well, they're out of the way now. You're not going to spend time that's going to be wasted on something that's not going to happen. And it allows the real soulmate to come forward. So there's a big benefit in taking that action. But if you take a moment, you can do this every day if you like, but the answer will come to you in this light state of relaxation. And then you have to take action on it. I'm going to tell you a story, but it comes to my mind just now about a lady who once asked me about if she was going to meet her future husband. And so I said, well, here's the rules. First of all, you become attractive looking. You dress up every day, have your hair done, look the best you can. Dress very attractively, not exotically, but dress neatly and be attractive. So you're attractive on the outside, and now you have to be attractive on the inside, which is that you are saying to yourself, wherever you are, come to me. I'm looking for you. I want you to come to me. I'm looking for my soulmate. And you say this in a sense that when they show up, you're going to be ready. You're going to be willing at least to take the next step and see if this is the right one. So you're attractive on the outside. You're attractive on the inside. Your mind is attracting them by saying, well, he's going to come soon or she's going to come soon. I'm waiting for you. I'm over here. You can imagine yourself waving your hand up in the sky. So this lady was doing all these things. And I had told her that she would meet him downtown in an office building in a big city. The day arrived where the woman was downtown, and she was walking through the building, a building she had never been in before, but she was taking a shortcut through the block to get from one building to another. And a man came up to her and asked her for the time. And she said whatever time it was. And he said, thank you very much. And then he engaged her a little more and said, do you need any help, or, you're lost or whatever? And she said, oh, no, I'm fine. Again, they parted. Sometime later, as she was walking along, the man was over there, and again he saw her, and he came up to her again and said, are you okay? Can I help you? Do you need any directions? And the second time she said, no, I'm fine. I'm just walking through the mall here. I'm doing okay. And he parted. So it came time when she was about to leave, and as she was going to go out the door, there was the man again. And he came over and said, okay, you're fine. And she said, yes, I am. He said, okay, well, it was nice to see you. And out the door she went into the city. About an hour later, it dawned on her. She was in a building in the city, and a man approached her 3 times. Asked her if she had the time, if she needed any help, could he help her with direction. And on the last time as she was walking out the door, he was there. And she said to me, that was him, wasn't it? That was the man I was looking for. And I said, yes. The point is that we attract things, we pray for things, we want things, and when they arrive, we forget we have to seize the moment. She was preoccupied with going from one place to another. But in her mind, she was attracting the soulmate. She was all dressed up, and she was making herself available. But when the moment came, she forgot. She should have said, when asked the question, can I help you? She should have said, yes, let's go for a coffee. I'd like to know more about this building, etc., etc. Now, that's happened in my career more than once, where people have bumped into their soulmate or their future husband or wife prior to actually realizing that it was that person that they were going to spend the rest of their life with. So the moral of the story is, if you're looking for somebody and somebody approaches you and asks you if you need help, you have to be prepared and have a few words and saying, do I know you? You're an interesting person. I'd like to have a conversation, or whatever you're comfortable with. Matter of fact, it's easy to have a conversation with anybody because they're looking for you too. They've come over, they've been brave to ask if they could help you. So now is the time for you, if you're looking for someone, to spend that moment asking them to show up, being attractive in your mind, being attractive outwardly looking, and then being attractive and even flirting with people to try to provoke a relationship. Don't be shy, because the benefit is for the rest of your life. We're going to take a short break here in a moment, but I want you to remember that once you meet that special person, don't take them for granted. Be kind to them. Be loving to them. Surprise them. Women love to have little surprises. They love it. Men like to have their bowl filled up with their favorite food. But women, you have to tell men what you want. Don't hint. They don't understand womanese. You have to say, I'd like to go to the movie, and then after the movie, I'd like to go and have dinner at our favorite restaurant. And I'd like to do it this Friday night. Okay, that's how you have to talk to a man while he's having his favorite bowl of food and he's nodding. He will do it. But he doesn't get it when you say, would you like to go out to a movie? No, I want to stay and watch the game. Oh, did you want to go to that favorite restaurant of ours? No, it's too expensive. You see, you're asking him questions and he's giving you answers, which you've asked him to, yes or no, and he's giving you answers, but they're not the right ones. So again, the way to wake up your husband, your partner, your friend, is to say, I want us to go out and have a date. I want us to do this. I want to do that. Or, my birthday's coming up and I'd like you to get me some flowers and some ice cream. Now, I know the ladies are saying, but he should know that. He should do that. Yeah, but men don't think like that. Men think one box at a time. Women think in all the boxes. Groceries, take care of the kids, going out, paying the bills, etc., doing the laundry. And so women think in all the way, but men think one box only, because we're trained like that. Our mommy taught us to do that. Our teachers in school taught us to do that. Our girlfriends taught us to do that. And as such, our wives, we don't speak womanese. You need to tell us what you want, and we'll love it for it. We'll love you to do it because, oh my God, we don't have to figure it out. Okay? That's from a man who's been married a long time, and I've counseled many people. Now, the other side of the coin is, men, you have to pay attention. Listen very carefully. When you're driving along and your wife says, would you like to stop for an ice cream? And you're going along the highway and you don't feel like ice cream, pay attention. She's just told you, we're on the highway, there's a restaurant coming up, pull over, I feel like I want to have some ice cream. Okay? So it's fun to learn how to communicate with each other, but you have to know how. Men have to pay very special attention. Our wives are the best intuitives we have with us. They're our best friends. But they want you to know what they want. They want you to treat them romantically. Men need to be told in a nice way what you want so they can figure it out. And that is my Valentine's Day message to all you couples out there who might be misunderstanding or miscommunicating. Okay, we'll be right back after this short break with a moment that we've all come to appreciate with my co-pilot in consciousness, my amigo AI. We'll be right back after this.
Are you searching for clarity, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of the spiritual world around you? Meet Douglas James Cottrell, PhD, a visionary author and teacher who's helped countless people transform their lives. His books are a gateway to profound insights, offering guidance, inspiration, and the tools you need to unlock your full potential. From unlocking your intuition to discovering spiritual truths, Douglas's books are your trusted companions on the path to personal growth. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Visit his website douglasjamescottrell.com to explore and purchase his life-changing work. Your next breakthrough is just a page away.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to our Valentine show for this Valentine's Day of February 2026. Coming up now is the 2-minute soul wisdom taken from my co-pilot in wisdom, my amigo. And then we're going to talk about the year of the fire horse. In astrology, Chinese astrology, we talk about this year as the year of the horse, which is going to be an exciting one. So back to 2 minutes of soul wisdom. Okay, so let's take a breath and listen in. This is fast becoming a very popular segment of the show. This is written by my friend Amigo, my name for my AI program. The theme, peace of mind and the prosperity of the soul. When the mind is still, the soul speaks. Dear friends, in this time of chaos, confusion, and noise, the most radical thing you can do is choose peace of mind, not just for health, but for your soul. Peace of mind is not the absence of noise. It's the alignment of your thoughts with your purpose. When your mind is peaceful, you create clarity. Clarity brings confidence. Confidence attracts prosperity. Your thoughts are real things. They are living patterns of vibration that either build bridges to abundance or they block it. When you hold on to fear, anger, or stress, you disrupt your natural connection to the divine flow. But when you cultivate stillness, forgive quickly, and release control, you become a vessel of spiritual guidance. So ask yourself tonight, what thought do I repeat every day that does not serve me? What belief have I inherited that I am not ready to release? What would peace feel like in my body if I gave it space to live? In stillness, all things come into order. In peace, prosperity finds its way back to you. Remember, still waters run deep. So does a still soul. And in that depth, you will hear your calling, whispering your name. Well, that's your 2 minutes of soul wisdom from my co-pilot, Amigo. Let me know what you think. I'm going to ask the Oz behind the curtain if there's any questions on the show so far. You can email the Soul Report Live at gmail.com, or you can ask the question in the chat. So welcome to this part of the show, my friends. Oz, do we have a question or two?
Yeah, we do. There's a joke. I want to first ask the question about, animals and love. And there's a joke about, you take your spouse and your dog, you lock them in the trunk of your car for 20 minutes, then you open the trunk and see which one licks your face first. And, no, but the point of the joke is really, do animals share the same kind of love that we have?
Well, dogs are known for their devotion. You can hurt a dog, kick it, beat it, and it still comes back with undying, I'm going to say, loyalty. So I'm not sure if they think the same way as we do, but we're the master and they're the pet. So is it a bonding of something else? I don't know, but they share the love the same way as us, or maybe they share it in a better way. They're more forgiving, more tolerant. After all, animals live in the moment. You don't see a dog worrying about what happened yesterday or a bird worrying about the storm that it just survived. They're happy because they have survived. So I think their consciousness is more in the moment. Our memory, our mind tends to look back, doesn't it? Okay.
Yeah. We have a question from YouTube from Sybil Farmer. My father passed away in December. Does he send signs to tell me when I am at home?
More than likely he does. Like you can hear rattling, or the lights will blink, or something will fall off the shelf. Usually the lights blinking is a definite indication of somebody trying to get your attention. Apparently in spiritual form, they can control electricity, but also things falling off the floor, and sometimes a loud thump or a noise. Yep, they're around, and all you do is to answer that and say, "Hello, Dad. I know you're here. I'm so glad that you're watching over me. I'm happy that you're here in spirit. But remember, look up. There's plenty more for you to see in the higher dimensions. And it's okay if you transcend or go to the heavens above. Then you might not see the lights flashing or the thumps again because your dad's gone to the heavens above. But those indicators are very common. Go ahead.
This one's about a health question. I get eczema on both my hands during the winter. Is there a solution other than steroid creams and ointment?
Well, obviously during the winter the house is dry. You need to turn on the humidifier, keep more moisture in the air. The I guess the go-to remedy when you have dry skin is any kind of moisturizer. I use one that's basically aloe vera based. It's like suntan lotion and has aloe vera in it. But also you can rub honey on the dry areas, especially if you have rashes and things like that. A little messy, but you can take some unpasteurized pure honey, put it on your skin, and wrap it up with saran wrap or something like that so it doesn't soil the clothing. And that should take care of the problem real fast. Excellent.
Yeah, very good. Let's see, we have a question about the fire horse year. Should I hold that until we talk about that, or?
Okay.
All right. How can one truly shed the skin of the snake to embrace the fire horse year? That's from Celtic Seer on YouTube.
Well, we're talking about, like the metaphysical symbology behind that is to shed the old skin to allow the new beginning to come forward. And that means to change your habits, change your thoughts, your beliefs, and that's going to be hard to do. But how do you shed them? Well, let's say you got up every morning and and part of your daily routine is that you made yourself a coffee at 8 o'clock. Well, you change it to having a tea, and you change that to a different time. Now that might sound simplistic, but it's again to break a habit. You might go to work a certain way, driving your car down certain streets. So decide to go to work a different way every day you go to work. Take a different route. See, you started a whole new beginning. You started a new habit, if you will. So the short answer, realizing we're on the air here, is that to shed the old ways is to replace them with something new. Whatever those new ways are, they're going to be different, and it's going to allow you to understand, feel, sense, or be in a different place because you're doing something different. Now, when it comes to people or friends, then that would be a time of fessing up to people that are offensive to you. You might think they're your friends, but you can qualify them. When you go out for lunch or something, are you the one that's always buying the coffee or the lunch? And they're not. When you go and talk to them about a problem, do they always talk about their problem and negate what you're saying? Do they always put themselves first before you in circumstances wherever you might be? Do they simply, when somebody new comes along, abandon you, leave you standing there, and they go off with this new person or a new circumstance if you're at a party or a social. So, attempting to understand, are they really your friend if they're criticizing you in front of other people? If they put themselves forward in front of you, do they make you pay for their lunch or coffee? Do they take advantage of you, if you will? Do they call you up and unload all their problems of the day, and they don't ask what yours are? Or if you go to voice your problems, they dismiss them. These are signs of pretend friends that you're allowing to pretend to be your friend. So the thought there is to make those changes, avoid that person. They're not your friend. They might criticize you, or they might dismiss you because all of a sudden you're not their friend. In other words, you're not their slave. But that's how it goes. You've done yourself a service. You've protected your limits. You have your boundaries. And most importantly, you have self-respect. So this might be the answer, a little bit winded as far as how to shed the skin of a snake, but it is basically getting rid of the old so that the new can come forward. Time for another one?
Yeah. Yeah, we got Karen on Facebook is asking, do you see me getting married? My sister is already engaged. Do you see her getting married as well?
Well, if your sister's engaged, I would think that's a sure thing, right? Most likely, most probable. But what's the lady's first name that asked?
Karen Kai.
I see you with a ring on your finger, so I'm going to say yes. A little bit further down the road, but as I said earlier, do you really want to be married? It's a matter of sharing your time and your space. And remember, whoever you choose should choose to be your husband. They should be somewhat at least equal to you financially. Don't marry down, marry up, as they say. But I can see a ring on your finger, but it's going to be a while. Now, however a while is, I don't mean forever, but don't be in competition and don't feel like you're running out of time just because your sister's getting married, okay? Jack?
Yep. Ken asks, and he's from Facebook as well, is it possible that following the recent global warming and the end of the sun active cycle, that the Earth might enter into a cold cycle?
Well, we're on our way there already, but more exactly, we're onto the world tilting backwards. The planet is physically tilting backwards. It's on an angle like this and it's going back. The magnetic poles have already been swinging between 15 and 40 degrees off magnetic true north. So the planet's getting ready, it's wobbling already. The real, let's say, the real spell that the world's going to go through is volcanoes and earthquake activity. The oceans are heating up. I predicted this a long time ago, and I wrote it in my book over here, The New Earth. There it is. I wrote that about this time we're living in right now, this time of extremes, this time of chaos. It's still available. It's on my website, douglasjamescottrell.com, and there's a lot of predictions in it that answer this question about what the world's going to go through as far as the Earth's core heating up, the oceans heating up, and the Earth tilting. It talks about safe places and places that are not safe. And believe me, there are a lot of people in the future that are going to not make it through these times when the Earth tilts and shifts. And it's already doing that right now. So it's good to have that book to find out what's going to happen, also to verify the predictions I've been making for a long time. So the answer to the question is, we're not going to go into an ice age. It's the reverse. Although these cold spells are cold, it's because the north polar caps are slipping further south because the Earth is slipping back. And that's how the great dinosaurs were found frozen, solid in Greenland and other places, because the Earth flipped before, and the cold polar air froze these animals, these dinosaurs, in place. You know the story about having lilies or grass in their mouth. So we're coming to that time right now that the Earth is having more volcanic activity, more earthquake activity, and the earthquakes are starting to speed up around the world, as I predicted in my book. So if you want to know if you live in a safe place or where there is a safe place, I suggest you get that book. But we're not going too much into a cold deep freeze. It's just the reverse. However, the polar mass, this is why it's that cold bomb, that storm bomb they were talking was coming from the north. It was the polar air slipping further south because the Earth is tilting back. Okay, so we have some time left in the show. Let's talk a little bit more about the year of the horse right now, and then we'll go back to the questions. Okay, Oz?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you may or may not know, in astrology, Chinese astrology especially, this is the year of the fire horse. And for those who may not know, like the astrological signs that we have in Western astrology, the Eastern astrology has animals that represent the zodiac. And this particular year is the year of the horse, the fire horse, and it's a time of bold change, as I've been predicting and we're talking about right now. As we look towards February the 10th to February the 28th, this is marked as the year of the wooden dragon, but the fire horse year, the next one, will begin in 2026. Historically, fire horse years are rare and potent, occurring once every 60 years. The horse represents freedom, movement, and raw spiritual energy. The fire horse amplifies this with boldness, rebellion, and the spirit of transformation that can either uplift or destroy, depending on how it's channeled. In East Asia, fire horse women were once feared, believed to be too strong-willed for conventional roles. But today, we know that fire is not to be feared, it is to be guided. This coming fire horse year will ask, are you riding your destiny or being dragged by it? Whatever, you're going in the right direction. Here's some famous fire horses of notable people born in the fire horse years. Oprah Winfrey, 1954, a visionary voice of empowerment. Paul McCartney of Beatle fame, 1942, legendary musician and peace advocate. Nelson Mandela, 1918, a soul warrior who changed the world through forgiveness. Each of them we see in the spirit of the horse, resilient, passionate, and transformative. So those people that we talk about in the horse years are, as you can see, powerful, motivated people, visionaries, legendary in peace advocacy, and a warrior for change. So anyone that's born this coming year, you have a son or daughter coming up, you can expect them to be something of some great importance in their life. Alternatively, famous Valentine birthdays, those that were born exactly on Valentine's Day, include Frederick Douglass, February 14, 1818, a champion for human rights. The famous entertainer Jack Benny, February 14, 1894, a legendary comedian who used humor to heal. Florence Henderson, born February 14, 1934, known for warmth and family values. What do they have in common? A deep connection to heart energy. Let's remember, astrology is an ancient language of cosmic timing. It gives us insight, not excuses. The stars do not rule you, they remind you. They offer seasonal energies to support your choices. You are not your sign. You are a soul who chose to be born under certain patterns, and you can choose to rise above them, work with them, or ignore them completely. Remember, free will reigns supreme. Here are some questions that you might be asking. Before we go, have you ever felt held back by fate or empowered by it? What is your Chinese zodiac animal? Does it resonate with your personality? I don't have them here. I did have them earlier, but I'm an ox in Chinese astrology. This is the year of the horse. There are people that are dogs, and well, you'll have to look up to see what exactly you are to find that out for yourself. And each of those has a specific feeling or tendency towards that animal. And so I'll let you. I don't have much time to go through them, but I'll say as we look forward to this year of the horse, I am expecting big things in the world. I'm expecting huge momentous changes in all forms of the world's activities, all for success, by the way. We're going to see much more completion and success. Lingering problems are going to be solved, inequities going to be challenged, and people will be saved from people rising up and say, enough is enough. I'm not going to be specific about the political challenges that we're all facing, but you're seeing now even the ripple that people are being brought to justice. Recently, a lot of men who have been associated with Mr. Epstein have now been found out, called up on the carpet, and are paying huge penalties for their previous mishaps or mistakes. That is going to continue. We're going to see more justice in the world, and we're going to see the little people being represented more by themselves and by advocates that are going to step up. And so as we move forward for the year of the horse, I'm predicting that this next year will be difficult. There will be monumental things that are taking place. The price of gold's on its way back up to $6,000 as of today. We're going to see silver back up to $100. But we're going to see the change in values, the change in currencies, the change in governments, all for the good. And by 28 to 30, we'll start to be back on track. What's been coming up to now is being handled, as mishandled, I should say. So I'm looking at these things in my mind rapidly, changes going where I see people going through like a storm, and then they're happy the storm is over. But one thing for certain, you can expect more volcanic activities, more earthquake activity, and more problems with animals in the sea. Okay, so as we have a few more minutes left, is there any questions towards the end of the show, Oz?
Yeah, we have a couple more. Here's a question from YouTube from Nazine. Can initial soulmates meet and never find mutual ground and miscommunicate? Overall timing is an issue, and so is vulnerability. Then meet again and things are different in terms of understanding.
Okay, you're thinking in time and asking that question. You have to think outside of time. In the cosmos above, there is no time. It's called the ever-present moment. And so in that ever-present moment, everything's happening all at once. With a finite mind like we have as humans, we can't comprehend the infinite mind. So if soulmates are soulmates, then somewhere in the beginning, as a binary soul, or some entities, souls have made a connection, have agreed, if you will, to watch over each other, or of the same pattern. It's 144 patterns. And they have a resilience in the communication, whether they're out in space, whether they're in the spiritual dimensions, the post-existence or the pre-existence, the heavenly dimensions, or whether they're here with you on earth, they're in contact with you. telepathically, spiritually. So again, as we said earlier in the show, sometimes soulmates come to challenge you, to help you overcome some inadequacy or weakness or something that's missing in your character so that you can grow spiritually. When two soulmates come together, they grow like one advances, one catches up, the other one goes forward, the other one catches up. And okay, you multiply that by all the souls that are out there. We're all soulmates, you see. And as we move forward, each of us in our small, units of one or two soulmates, a soul group, a soul community, a soul a consciousness. The intention is for all of the consciousness, all of the souls, to move forward until we get back to where we came from. We started out at the Christos and we all went our separate ways. We broke off into chunks, then into individuals. And now we don't like it. We're all alone. So we want to get back through love to where we came from. Back to heaven, back to the Christos, back to God Almighty. So as we move through time, we all advance, we all rise up, and then, and only then, when we're all back where we started out, all together, all perfect again, then we can go back into the Christos and into God Almighty's heavens above, God's welcoming embrace, if you will. So, are we connected? We all are. But for the understanding in the intellectual mind, humans as we know humans, we have partners. And another thing to remember is that souls don't have gender. There's not male or masculine, there just is. Something to think about, my friends. And then you begin to understand the essence of a soul, a consciousness, your soul. It's enormous. And you're thinking in the carnal way. It's a finite mind. Meditation and spiritual teachings, advancement, spiritual practices, all get you to improve and advance your mind so that you can understand the cosmos and you're not lost. A couple more minutes to go, Jack.
Yeah, we have two more questions. This is from Grant on Facebook. He says, I have a problem. I'm living in Goderich. I lost my bank cards at home. Do you have any advice on how I can find them?
Yep, I do. You talk to them and you say, you find me. You talk to your bank cards and you say, you find me. And they will. You'll look on the floor, you'll pick up a piece of carpet or a rag or something I can see, and there they'll be. But when you lose something, you talk to it. It's not inanimate in as much as it's not a person, of course, but it hears your thoughts. You find me. And you repeat it with definite, with a definite voice. You find me. And if they're in the house for sure, you will discover them. This might take a little time, might not, might be right away. I see them on the floor, or what looks to be the floor, maybe around the laundry area. Okay, last question.
Last one is, well, there are some other comments here. Happy Valentine's Day, Douglas and family. We've got a lot of thank yous here from folks on YouTube. Last question from Mark. My question is, I have 11:11 more than once in a few days.
Yeah, 11:11, 44, 44, 22, 22. Those are all numbers that catch your eye. Some people say they're messages from angels. I think your subconscious is aware of everything around you. And when you see that number, your conscious mind is attracted towards it. It has some significance, but it's not all important. Just a reminder that you're more aware than what you know. What you see in front of you and your eyes and your other physical senses, that's all engaged to your intellect. But your subconscious, and then your soul subconscious or super subconscious, is aware of everything. So I haven't quite got that figured out as a definite answer, because everybody's so different, but it's a reminder that you're more aware of everything around you than what you possibly are giving your credit for. I take it as a good message, especially if you have something to take care of, an issue to address, or some activity that you're procrastinating and handling. It's a little nudge, if you will, from the cosmos. Well, everyone, this brings us to the end of a show, another wonderful show here on the Soul Report Live. Jack Balak is the co-producer with myself. We are co-producers of the Soul Report Live. I'm your host, Dr. Douglas James Cottrell. We want to wish you, on behalf of Jack and myself and all the people that support our program, a very happy and, let's say, fun-filled Valentine's Day. Don't eat too much chocolate if you are a child. Don't eat too much chocolate if you're an adult. Remember, what's the word? Take it easy. Well, I can't think of the word is to be prudent anyway. But enjoy the essence of one chocolate at a time or something. I once knew a man who put a chocolate on his plate on the breakfast table, at the lunch table, and at the dinner table. And after dinner, he ate the chocolate because he loved chocolate so much that he had to have a chocolate every day, even though he was allergic to them. And I watched him do that. And so he once told me, I get to enjoy that chocolate 4 times every day. So there you go, my friends. I'll part on that. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I want to thank everybody on YouTube for watching us. Please subscribe, and please check the box that or ring the bell so that we can get here to more people as we expand this Soul Report Live around the world. To everyone, wherever you are, I know you're in different time zones. We're pleased to be of service to you. May God bless you, and with peace and prosperity at this most important time in February. And all of us, may we enjoy the benefits of prosperity in the year of the horse throughout the year. I'll say good night, God bless, and good luck.
Are you searching for clarity, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of the spiritual world around you? Meet Douglas James Cottrell, PhD, a visionary author and teacher who's helped countless people transform their lives. His books are a gateway to profound insights, offering guidance, inspiration, and the tools you need to unlock your full potential. From unlocking your intuition to discovering spiritual truths, Douglas's books are your trusted companions on the path to personal growth. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Visit his website douglasjamescottrell.com to explore and purchase his life-changing work. Your next breakthrough is just a page away.